I think we're live. Hi everyone, my name is Kat, owner of KatsCreationsNMore, and today we are going to be working on giving a little plush wreath attachment a forever home. So give me just 1 second to make sure that we are live in all of the places. Really quick, as you come in, if you could let me know where you are from, I would greatly appreciate that. Looks like we are live on Facebook. Let me look. Live on, sometimes I forget, YouTube. We are here, shows live. Let me turn on comments. There we go. That should be set. Comments. These are all the things that you can't do ahead of time until you are live. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. A couple housekeeping rules before we get started. If you want to save a copy of this tutorial and you are on YouTube, just click the save button. As long as you have an account with YouTube and you have everything set up, it'll go ahead and stockpile all of your saved videos, and you can organize them in files or however you want to do that. If you are on YouTube, however, you need to use the share button. What that does, because Facebook is no longer housing videos longer than 30 days, is it'll do a quick copy paste from my page to your page, and then from that point you're going to want to download that video. Otherwise you need to come back to YouTube to find that, because if you go back to my Facebook page, anything longer than 30 days out, it's sad the way that my newsfeed looks like now. Even when I go back and look at Facebook memories, it's like this content's been removed. So it's not me removing it, that is Facebook and their new terms and conditions. So hi, Savatra, welcome, thanks for joining. Let me make sure I can see Facebook over here. Sometimes it's nice just to have backups so that if something happens, I am well aware of watching all the things, all the news feeds going on. So to stream simultaneously it's a little bit of a technical challenge, but I have mastered it. Okay, and then it's like I was waiting for the page to load, and then the page just went non-load. Okay, oop, just had it and then it disappeared. Okay, so we're good. Hi Cheryl, greetings from Houston. It's been quite some time since you've been able to enjoy a live. Well, thank you for joining me and welcome. So, and hi Clara, joining us. Where are you joining us from? And hi Pam, thanks for joining. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. We're going to cover all the things. If you were present on Tuesday, we did a Halloween bow that we're going to use in tonight's tutorial. So the bow's already created. I will link the video in the description so that if you want to know the specifics of how to make that bow, there's a dedicated bow making video just for that. It's part of my bow making series on YouTube, where I am breaking down all the things related to making a bow, because when I first started out, it was the thing that I struggled with the most. So let's pivot you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. By the way, the Dollar Tree is restocking their 14-inch wire wreath forms. It's kind of interesting because I looked at the new tags that are showing up, and this is what you're getting if you go into the Dollar Tree store. The price has now been red tagged, and I actually pulled this off earlier today to see what it was that they were hiding. It was the original price of $1.25, so these are now $1.75. Still can't order them online, but the nice thing is through the website you can see whether your local store has them in stock, hopefully before you drive all the way there. So 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. This is the sign that we are going to be using. This is a 6 by 12 is what I want to say. Let me measure that. Yep, 6 by 12. This came from a Jane's Front Door Decor. When I pulled up her shop information on Etsy, her shop is there, but there's no listings. So you would probably have to reach out to her personally and contact her to ask her about purchasing a sign, because there are no signs listed there. And this is a design exclusive, I believe, to Jane. So if you're looking for this exact one, head on over to her shop on Etsy and then just click the contact button and tell her that you want to purchase a 12x6 boo sign with the ghost and the spider on it. And that's if that's a possibility that she's still doing that. So we're going to finish up wiring our 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. We are going to finish the last section, and I'm starting with just wiring together the two inside rings together to create stability on that frame. Same thing from the outside. We're going to go ahead and do this on the outside as well, just like this. And then we're going to go ahead and do another one here right to the outside, just like that. I thought I brought my water in, but I guess I must have left my water in the house. Anyhow, this leaves you with a total of 18 pipe cleaners, 6 on the inside, 12 to the outside. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a neutral base. So when I do a neutral base, it's generally because I want to elevate the design to a different color palette, but I don't want it to get crazy and too much color. So by creating a neutral base, it allows you to introduce colors into your theme without it being too busy, especially with the ribbons that we are using. So that's what we're going to do really quick. We are doing a ruffle technique using a wide foil. It's just a wide foil black Deco mesh. You can get this from Craft Outlet, and you can totally tell this was the very first piece on the roll because it's got a little slight so I made it just a touch bigger to make up for that. Hi Jean, welcome, thanks for joining. Hi Linda, welcome. So we're going straight up the center just like this. Okay, and we are going to start with the inside. So we're going to lay that right to the inside. We're going to go ahead and give it a couple twists, and we will be removing all the pipe cleaners. Just from the inside 6. Sorry, clarification there. Going to go ahead and tuck that one down below. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. And this is a great opportunity for you guys. If you have any questions, please share them with me. This is a great time. And even if you're catching this on a replay and you have a question, go ahead and post that in the comment. I make it a habit of going into my YouTube tutorials and updating comments to people that are catching this on a replay. Because it is at 2 p.m. Pacific, and some people aren't quite home from work yet. So that's why we go ahead and make it for everyone. So I was able to cut this with a wood burning tool. You can see you get a really nice straight edge on that, instead of that weird, funky diagonal cut we had going on. This is also a really great design if you have leftover mesh. So, you know, sometimes you might be doing like Deco mesh Ruffles, and so you haven't quite used up an entire roll. So you have all these like little odds and ends of different color mesh. I know I have it in my stockpile, and I hate it because I'm looking at that thinking, when am I ever going to use that? You know, until you get to a design like this and you're like, ah, perfect way to do it. The only type of Deco mesh I wouldn't keep is if you're buying something with a pattern on it that the likelihood of that being available next season might be a no. I wouldn't keep those. Or if you just want to keep them for the next year and see if that roll is still available for you to order, you can order, you know, an extra roll so that you have more than enough. And when I first started out, I was always ordering 2 rolls of everything, especially Deco mesh, because I never wanted to run out. And I'm sure you guys have been there before when we are putting together a design and we're cutting our Deco mesh to the 20-inch pieces, and we get to that final piece, our 18th piece, and we only have 9 inches remaining. It should be a full, you know, 18 of them at 20 inches is exactly what 30 feet of Deco mesh should do for you. And so, especially when buying premium pattern Deco mesh, I always bought 2. Because I just didn't want to have that risk of that happening. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. I feel like it's a Friday for some reason. I'm glad that we're early today because we went through a really bad hot day yesterday. It was close to 100 here, which is not normal for Washington. And that just puts a lot of stress on the wildlife, stress on our animals that are outside because they're not used to that, especially our chickens. You have to watch them pretty closely for heat-related stress. Okay, so I put our 5 or 6 inside ones. These are the ones that are wired on the 2 innermost rings. And so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add the outsides to fill this, and you're going to see how full and how right now it's transparent. If you looked really hard, you could see the wire wreath frame. We're going to alleviate that and take care of it all together. Just like so. And then I'm taking these and putting the finished edges towards the center, laying that right down in the center of my pipe cleaner. On the outside, I'm just doing 2 twists, and then I am just spreading these out almost like in a doily shape. Grab some water. Took some allergy meds yesterday because everybody around here, farmers, have these big old pastures and they've been mowing all their hay and rolling it in bundles. So the allergies are a little on the tough side. So while allergy medicines help, yeah, I don't like the whole dry mouth thing that happens from taking pills, medication. That's why I was like, what happened to my water? I was carrying it. I think I set it down just as I was getting ready to walk out. And it's not there anymore. Tonya, great question. She said, just joining in, why do you do the top row first? It's a variable. Some people like the fact that, you know, rather than do what I call the next one, that's how I used to do it. I went back to the way that I started, which was do all the inside 6 and then do the outside 12. It takes a little bit because you need to make sure that you're getting adequate coverage all the way around, but it just shows the ability to place that mesh in a little bit easier than trying to say, okay, what is Kat doing right now with laying her Deco mesh in? Setting aside that first 6 is like a really good idea, but you don't have to. You could just start anywhere, and whatever pipe cleaner comes next, you could just grab the next pipe cleaner and put your Deco mesh right on inside. So I am just tucking those over. Going to go ahead and put this one in. So right now I'm working always the next two that adjoin. Just 2 twists, because that's honestly all you really need. And then I'm making sure that I flare these out enough, and I'm prepping them for my next step, which is adding our ribbons to the outside. But a really great question. Sometimes people just, you know, start wherever on a starting point. I can go either way. There we go. Coming inside. 2 twists. And then I like to, this is a little hard to see because it's black, but I like to take the ends of my deco mesh because that's where we're wood burning, but that's also where it frays. So I like to kind of just roll those under so that it helps prevent the frays, because if a customer is going to fluff it, they're going to play with it from the outside. You know, they're going to move ribbons around. They might move the deco mesh around. And so we're trying to minimize what happens to the mesh. Because it's fine here on a finished edge, but we don't have finished edges once we cut that roll. Okay. So again, just taking it like this, placing the finished edge towards the center, just right down on top of that pipe cleaner. 2 twists, and then I go ahead and just readjust those. I'm placing my pipe cleaners in an up and down motion so that it is ready for what we're going to do after this. I know to some of you, you might be thinking, oh my God, you know, it's end of July. She's making Halloween. If you look at a lot of the retail stores right now, everybody is bringing in their fall and Halloween. That's normal. So most people shop, or most retailers make sure that they have items in stock so that by the time our buyers are ready to shop, we already have that available. It's already in the shop. So like if somebody decides to start shopping for their Halloween at the end of August, I have stuff already in there because I've been loading it since mid-July. And then next week, what I'm going to do is we're going to work on a budget wreath. So a lot of people like that series. I call them wreaths on a budget. It's just a lower price point for materials. So it's ideal for people who are just starting out and maybe don't have an awful lot of stock of materials. There's that. Flipping that open. Go ahead and grab this. And go ahead and plop that in. There we go. And up and down. Do you guys have any other questions? What types of wreaths would you like to see tutorials on how to make, or what other kinds of tutorials in general would you like to see that maybe you don't know if I have a tutorial on that, or maybe I haven't done a tutorial on that, but you're very interested in, like, oh, hey, do you have a tutorial about this? And if not, it gives me definite inspiration to make sure that I'm addressing the needs that you have. Almost done. 3 more pieces. And I was like thinking, wait, we're not doing ribbons after this. We're doing something different. This was going to be a mix-up because remember I told you you get to use leftovers on this wreath. So it's the perfect wreath for when you don't have full rolls of everything except the black. Thank you, Carol. Just that I spread the love out loud. I so appreciate you doing that. Guys, you don't realize how wonderful it is when people share, just clicking the share button and either sharing that on your social media page or sharing it on wherever you're watching this from. It helps the algorithm. So if you're watching on Facebook, it helps Facebook show it to more people because Facebook goes, oh, people are interested in this. We should share it. Same thing on YouTube. So by sharing, you're really helping your creators get more subscribers, more people to follow. Okay. Also, if you want to make sure you're not missing out on any of my notifications for going live, because I am uploading videos every single day now for YouTube subscribers. We're looking to do shorter content and also more streamlined content, like just getting to the meat of what it is that we're doing. But then there's always the full-length video for everybody who wants to go through all the things. I think didn't you mention that before, Pam? Gems on a swag. So are you thinking about that more for Christmas? Is that where you're like feeling that? Like that would be a Christmas design is where you're thinking that needs to be. Those are so super fun to work with. I can honestly say I have not done one, but they're not that complicated. Okay, so there's the base. You can totally tell we have really filled it in. You can see the depth of the color all the way around. So now we're going to do something and we're going to add pops of color. So we have white, we have black, we have purple, we have orange. We're actually going to come in and pop in some green as well because our bow, let me show you the bow that we finished. This is the bow that we made on Tuesday. So it's all the traditional Halloween colors, the lime green, the purple, the orange, white, and black. So we want to introduce this, but man, imagine if we added all the colors, everything would start to get lost and it wouldn't feel like it's like you're looking at it and your eyes like, oh my God, where do I look? So we're going to bring those colors now into the wreath in a fun little way where you can use your leftovers. So I have purple, I have orange, and I have a lime green. And we're going to do this using the bow dabber just to hold our materials to make curls. And then we're going to secure those with a zip tie. And I've got one here. So all cut to 10 inches. The purple and the orange are wide foil. I just had a metallic lime green, so that's what I'm using. I don't have one that's wide foil at this time. So doing that, you're just going to start with a slight fold and you're just going to roll. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. I just usually like to weight the end. And then I like to put the seam side down into the bow dabber just to hold this. So all it is an extra set of hands that will allow me to roll my Deco mesh up. just like this. And you know what's sad? Is I made more of these than I needed. I made 18, but I only needed 12. That's okay. I will end up making something similar with the other 6. So rolled those up, and now I'm going to take them out one by one because it's easier now that I have them rolled. I'm going to do a little X, and then the one in the middle is just going to go straight in the center. 6-inch zip tie is going to go all the way around, just like this. And a nice little tight bunch. I find that if I can make them nice tight little bunches, when I go to stick these in my pipe cleaners, it's made the amount of space much smaller for me. So with these, I'm just going to take and I'm just going to plop that right into the center. One twist of my pipe cleaner. So this is how I'm going to introduce that color all the way around. So let's do one more, because I have the rest of these already done. So here's purple. Let's do orange, and then green, and we'll make another bundle. You can even flip them upside down to get a different color on top. Like if I wanted green on top, just flipping that over would have yielded that result. So there's that. And then once I have it in my hand, grab my zip tie. Oop, that's a 12. Oop, here's a 6. And we're going to do the same thing, a little X. And then put one straight in the center. Gonna kind of come around here. Just like that. Snip off that excess. And we're going to tuck that in all the way around. And if you just want to change up the color tones, you can just move them around. I like the fact that the purple pops in there. I'm technically done with my bow maker for now. So let me get some more of these little doodles, the little curl doodles. And we're just going to go through and start adding these in to our bundles. And we still need our pipe cleaners, so we're not removing them. But we need to put all these in. So nice and tight. Like I said, if you want to change up what colors lay where, it's entirely up to you. I'll set all those over there. Okay. And so this is why the zip tie matters. Right? Doesn't the bow look good with the sign, Cheryl? I so agree. Because that was my whole thing. I'm like, well, we made this bow. And I said we were going to use this bow. I'm like, so we should just finish this week out with a finished design. And I'm just alternating. Sometimes, like that one had purple on top. This one has orange on top. Just like so. It goes pretty quick once you've made your little bundles. And see, what I'm saying is orange on top, or flip it over, and then you can, this one has green on top. It just elevates that color profile without going crazy with a ton of Deco mesh. So I was able to use a lot of opened rolls that I had just from other projects. Oops, let's bring orange I'm going to bring orange into that center. A couple more. I think we had 3 more going in. There's that. And let's put orange on top. So look at how that's already changing the entire look of this design. It's just got fun little color noodles everywhere. Last one. Let's squeeze this one in, right in here. And I try to take them all the way down as close to the center of my pipe cleaner as I can. So there's our doodles. Now look, when we add our sign, we introduced all of that color into the center. Even though green's not in there, it will play a part in our ribbon. Still not ready for the sign or the bow yet. We're going to add some fun ribbon effects. Hi, Elizabeth. We, are mixing this one up in 2 totally different ways. So all the ribbon that I incorporated in the bow, normally if I'm doing ribbon tails and half bows, I only use 4 out of the 6. This way I'm using all 6. So look at what we're going to be doing. We are taking the 1.5 inch with the fun print, and we're going to put them together. These are 14-inch pieces. Just like this, we're going to fold them in half. And then we're going to pinch in. And we're going to place this, in the center of our pipe cleaner. Couple twists. And then we're going to split them. Just like this. Split. 1 up, 1 down. Just like that. Fun little mix. Okay. And on the ends of those, we can embellish it. Or we don't have to embellish it. We could, technically, you could put, let me show you what I'm talking about. You can put some scatters and fillers on them. These come from Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby will have all these as they're bringing in their Christmas designs right now. So because this one's mostly purple, I definitely want to make sure that I'm doing orange. So here is our orange ones. I'm going to take my Cool Shot mini glue gun, and we're just going to pop that right on. And then we'll go ahead and get a fun, I'll do purple. I like purple. And they come in, I think, 2 to 3 different sizes. So we're just going to pop those on. So those are just like a fun little embellishment. I'm going to take these and just set those aside so that I can keep on working. So just a nice little crisscross. And then for the next one, I'm going to take the 2.5 inch. Oops, there we go. I guess it doesn't matter because either way it's going to be on one or the other. So let me just go back to where I was at. This is a vertical Eek Spooky Beware black and purple stripe, 24 inches. The ends are already dovetailed cut. We're going to do our half bows with this. So we're going to go up about 3 inches. We're going to make a little loop. If we can, like, if I do it this way, the bow is upside down. But if I do it this way, the eek is right side up. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus with my eek being up. Okay, then we're going to right side one side of our tails, just like that. We're going to open our eek, and then we're going to go ahead and add 2 more fun glitter balls to the end. I'm going to do a lime green, and then we're going to do an orange. So with this pipe cleaner, it goes on really nice because they're just little styrofoam balls dipped in glitter. So when you go and push them on your chenille stem, they go on really nice. So this is going to be one look, and then the other is our crisscross, right? Crisscross applesauce. Spinning that around. Grabbing our next set of 1.5 inch, and these are all from Craft Outlet, by the way. So this is spider web or spiders on argyle, orange, black, and green with purple accents. And then we paired that with orange, green, black, and purple stripes. Same thing. Bring them together. Fold them in half so you can find that middle. Pinch them in the middle. Place them right on the inside. Couple twists. Let's go ahead and add our balls since we're right here. Before I open those up, we'll do purple and green. There's that one. And our limey green. Let's go bigger. Sometimes I like to alternate the sizes. Small, large. Just like that. Same thing. Pull those out. We're going to do crisscross. And crisscross here. And if you wanted to, you can bring your crisscross down so that those are more to the outside if that is your desired look, or you can have them kind of splash up and out. And then now we're taking a 2.5 inch with all the other colors, the black, the orange, the purple, and the lime green. We've got this cut to 24 inches. We're going up about 3 inches. We're going to gather that in. Place that right to the inside. I'm going to open my loop. I am going to right side one leg of my ribbon so that now that kind of comes out the way that it should. And then we're going to add another, we are going with orange and then purple. So just like this. And using a Cool Shot glue gun, because that's exactly what this is. Cool Shot. This does not melt my styrofoam balls, so they don't sit there and start to dissolve. They just stay nice and pretty, just like that. Look at how pretty. Even if all you did was create a base and put all of your ribbons on the outside and you added nothing else into the center, imagine if you put a fun cake plate with like Halloween treats in, or put in a big like candy bowl or witch's cauldron, and this could be a fun centerpiece. Okay, we're back doing this again. This time I'm going to put the different one on top. We're doing the stripes on top. Oh, I did stripes on top last time. Well, then I'm not doing stripes on top this time. Aw, thanks, Elizabeth. I've had it for a while. So after 8 years of being a wreath maker, you kind of get your collection going. So here we go again. If you want to keep it low and outside, you can definitely do it like this and just have it kind of filter through your noodles. And we will do a green and orange on this one. And you notice I'm not cutting these down because I kind of like them at varied heights. So orange. And it brings that sparkle of the metallic and the glitter that's on that one ribbon right to the top. And these are fun because you can move those around as well any way you want. Okay, we are back to our purple. And this time, let's see. Oh, we're going to get Beware on top. So Beware is going to be what is front and center on this one. Couple twists. Open your loop. Right side that one tail. And then fan those out. If you need to readjust some of your little curl noodles, just move them wherever you want. And I'm going to do big purple. And then we're going to do a lime green. And here's our lime green. We'll do big. What do you guys think of the colors? Do you like these colors? Hi, Doris. Says sorry I'm late. Hello. It looks beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Actually, we can have it say beware or spooky. Either or works. Now we're going to take our stripes. Remember, our 1.5" are cut to 14" pieces, and the 2.5" are cut to 24" pieces. So we're going to stuff those together. Give it a couple twists. And you can open up your ribbon so that you can see all the colors. Like I said, you can move things around to show what you want to show. I'm going to have these ones kind of come low into the outside so that we have room for our sign and our bow and a surprise person. Orange. And then purple. So I'm just alternating the color of my little glitter balls. And then on the next one, it'll be green and orange. Just a fun little pattern. Okay. Now we're back to our 2.5. And this actually helps save a lot of your ribbon because technically, well, here I'm using 4, but you didn't have to. You could have just used all like orange 2.5, and then you could have just used 2 sets instead of 4 like I did here, and you save quite a bit of ribbon. So this would be a ribbon saver too, to some extent. Opening up that loop, I'll fix that curl because it wants to smash my loop, so I just put it behind. And then we're going to go with a lime green and an orange. There's that one. And here's an orange. So I always take stock in all of Hobby Lobby's styrofoam balls because you just never know. You know, the green can come into play. St. Patrick's Day can come in the summer, can come in fall. And now we're going to do these again. We're going to crisscross opposite. Bring them together. Pinch them. And then we're going to plop that right inside. And again, just maneuver things around so what you want to see comes through perfectly. And now we're going to do purple and then green. So there's our purple and here's our green. Just like so. Just like that. Oh, you like all the colors? The Halloween styrofoam glitter balls, Linda. So they're not really Halloween. So like it's the purple, the hot pink, and the green are Hobby Lobby's Christmas. Yeah, I think it's like retro colors. And then the brown, the orange, and the green are their fall colors. So I just keep them in those respected containers and I just pull what I need depending upon the colors, since Hobby Lobby doesn't carry. They used to carry Halloween, but they don't now. Okay. So there's that one. We have to right side one of these. I'm going to pull my purple curls in because I like that to show. And then we're going to do orange. And then I think it should be orange, purple, green. Orange, purple. Okay. Green will be our next one. Open that up. Fan those out. I wish I had a candy bowl that I could show you how adorable this would look, or even a cake plate with like fun Halloween cupcakes, or I'm trying to think of like, not cupcakes, you could do technically candy, but cupcakes if you're doing a party. That'd be a fun party decoration. Okay, we are doing spiders on top. We only have these 2 to go. So we're going to gather in. Place that right in the center. Open that up. I'm going to tuck this under that. And same thing. I'm just alternating what sits on top. We'll put a green and then an orange. So the green is going to be really tall, which is fine. We can have tall ones. Green and purple. Yeah. Right? No, green and orange. I was right. Orange. And then we just have one more. Just squeeze in. How fun. So much fun. Last one. 24-inch piece. Oh, it's going to say boo on top, which is perfect. Kind of. We'll try to make it work. It's actually further down the ribbon than I like. It's like really close to the bottom. So it's just going to be beware. Beware. And then fan these out. So don't forget, if you are marketing this, if you're making them and marketing, don't forget to show all the possibilities if you can. Cute Halloween bowl in here would definitely give the customer the illusion of, oh wow, I didn't realize you could take a wreath. You know, if it didn't have anything in it, make it adorable. Oops, I think that one's really short. Short on one side, long on the other. Green. Green. And that worked out good, because then we go to orange. There we go. And I'm going to pull this one to the side. Just like that. Look how cute! So much fun! Lots of colors all to the outside. We still have our neutral base. It is time that we give our mystery guest his long-awaited home. So I am putting lids on my balls because sometimes you just knock stuff out of the way. I was like trying to think, are we going to put a bow and that on here? Let's find our ghost, because our ghost can go one of 2 things. I kind of forgot about that, you guys. Can't put all 3. So this is a ghost plush wreath kit. You have the top half of your ghost like this, and you have the bottom half just like this. So technically this is what he does. He would just scooch in here somehow like that. Scooch. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Okay. And then we have an option, because I wasn't thinking all this one through. We can make him have the sign in the center. Let me spin this around so you can see what it would look like. Our ghost can hold his sign, or I'm trying to think, can we do anything like this? I'm not thinking that's gonna work. And then, or this is what we do. Let me find the center of our bow. Or we add the bow. And I'm thinking the bow's going to be a tad too much for him. So, I think the bow's too big. So, like, even if I spaced him, and we put the bow in the center, we could fluff it a different way. Like that, so he could still be, bring it down a little bit towards his body. He could be like, that's what we could be. So we could put the ghost with a bow, or do we put the ghost with his sign? What should we do? What should we do? Can't really put this in here anywhere because it's such a pretty bow. I don't want it to just simply get lost in the ribbons, because the ribbons are already, like, there's tons. So I think we're gonna do the boo sign with the boo ghost. So, knowing, sometimes you have to get, like, I'm so picky about lint that I need to give him, like, a lift, like so. Because white just picks up everything. I'm going to keep this here because I'm going to do the top too. But let's put the bottom in. Oops. Or we'll put the top in. So it comes with a lot of hangers. There's 5. I don't necessarily know that we will do all 5. We will definitely secure his head, his arms. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So I'm going to bring him up here so he sits a little bit higher into our design, so that his bottom will kind of hang out a little bit. Like, I want to bring him up here a bit. And I'm sure I'm going to be doing this quite a few times. He's got lots of glitter all over him. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to untwist some of this. I have it twisted all the way to the top. I'm going to just take this and poke this. Thank God for the wire, because that's a lot of ribbons, a lot of Deco mesh. I'm attempting to get this to go all the way through. And remember, you want to hit it so you're above and below a rail. I want him up a little bit higher. So I'm just going to relocate one of my wires up a little higher. Not that high. It was like going to the outside. And I've got my wire in. So let's go ahead and just, and I don't want to pull his head down because I don't want him to look like he's sinking in. Okay. What the heck is that? It just has a little tag off to the side. And then I'm going to take the center ones. I'm going to tuck them down because I don't necessarily think that we need to use them, but I'm just going to put them there so we can get his hands in place. Carol says I don't normally use the wires it comes on. This one actually has really good. I was going to do that. Put the head at the top, sign in the middle, bottom, but then the bow gets lost it really gets lost. It's like there's so much happening here that the bow just kind of becomes that. So I'll just save it so that we can make we might make a coordinating piece to go with him. You know, like, we might make a lantern swag, or we could do a door swag with the same type of bow and theme. Okay, there's that. Just one twist. Okay, head secure. I'm like, is his head sitting down too low? We're gonna move this. I want it so we have a pretty good gap there. This one only comes with 2 wires at the very, very top. So I'm taking those and bringing them up. And these are really thick wire, let me tell you. I could probably use these in my garden as garden stakes. I'm just trying to find where I want it to go. I had one. And then I'm just redirecting the other one to go down and through. You need to come up a bit higher. So I'm trying to get his middle to stay where I need it to be. So then I know, okay, this is where we're gonna try to bring those in. There's that one. That's what's wrong with my wire, is it was curled. Okay, well, let me I just did a simple crisscross, and I still don't like that that is still too low for me. Might have to go to the side. Okay. So that's why we don't want to pull it too far down. So let me go to the side. There we go. It still gets stuck on the most mundane things. There we go. That works. Nice little twist. I just pulled it off to the side, so rather than hitting the frame here, I just hit the frame this side. And so that is going to be the likely spot for the opposite side. There we go. Same thing. Don't want to pull it down too far, but far enough. And see, out of all the things that they could have done, why wouldn't they have attached one down here? I guess it's so you can have some. You can make his tail pop up. You can make his tail pop back down. We need to add holders for this. So this sign is going to actually go right in the center. So I'm going to go to the outside edge here, and I'm going to try to make this line up. There's that one. And I'm looking at where I did the other one. There we go. A little high, a little low. We're almost done, guys. We'll go ahead and put our business card to the back. Super simple. Then I'm going to do floral wire to secure this, because it's just too many layers of Deco mesh to go through, plus ribbon that's in the way. So about a 14-inch piece is what I'm using, because folded in half will be about 7 inches. So I'm going to poke a hole, put my floral wire in. I'm going to build this right over the top of my sign on the bottom so that it keeps the sign flush and not out to the side. Okay, just like this. Just like so. And then we're going to plop that right on top. Taking this down. Just to the... Why do I always do that? Every single time. I always grab the wrong wire. I always grab the bottom wire. Okay, there it is. Grab the other one. There we go. And I'm just going to lightly pull. Just one simple like Chris. Like Chris. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. The sign is filling his middle so that your, let me see. There we go. There we go. Okay, just like that. Move this off to the side. You normally, yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get the other one through. It's like you get it and then you it's almost like we release it. So we don't want to go too much because we don't want to like puncture him. We just want it to sit in and give him a nice little cozy home. Just like that. How fun! And I'm just moving all the noodles around. All the noodles. So I'm going to grab this one. Let's grab the green. Pull the green up. Pull our orange up. Just like that. Fix our bow. Fix this bow. So we just have to readjust because now we've added our ghost to this design. But oh, he's so adorable, you guys. And we'll keep moving all the things down so that you can see him. Just like this, we'll put that one in the center. I'm going to take this one, pull that one up, and just re-maneuver my ribbon around for his outside, just like that. Okay, there's that, there's that. It's easier for me to do it here than on the door. And all the ribbon worked perfectly for us. You could either bring the noodles up or you can push that noodle down. It just depends on what you're looking at. Haven't decided if I wanted it up or down. And I think I'm just maneuvering all the things. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pivot you up. We're going to put him on the door and see what he looks like on the door. Whoop. I think I went just a touch too high. Still a little high. Okay. We're going to take this one down. And we're going to put this one up. So it's going to be so cute. It's going to be so colorful, you guys. Look how fun. Look how fun he is. Just like so. So just give him some fun things. Just like that. Make sure you can see all your fun embellishments you put in. Whoop. Oh, I had that one the right way. Just like that. Lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of fun, lots of ribbon, lots of fun. Okay, let me zoom in so you can see what it looks like. I like him. Okay, there you go. It has zoomed in to that. So there is our ghost. He's all ready to welcome trick-or-treaters into the home. He's absolutely adorable. What do you guys think? Elizabeth, you like the new background? Yeah, it's fun. It's like a barn with a wagon wheel, some pumpkins, and then on this side is actually like what you can't see, jack-o'-lanterns. So yeah, it's a fun backdrop. So it just lets you know that if you're catching this live, we're making Halloween designs. Okay. Super fun. He is all set, all ready to go. He is the only one that I have with that sign and those ribbons because, believe it or not, the Spooky Beware bow is gone. So, I don't have any more of that left. So this will be the only one that I have. I will post him in my shop. So KatsCreationsNMore.com is where you want to go to find that if you're interested, or you want to look at a few other things that I have. I do have my Christmas in July sale going on, and that is all the 2024 to like 2022 holiday, I would call it winter and Christmas. You can get those on sale. The price, when you look at it, doesn't look like there's a price reflected, but add it to the cart, and then when you go to checkout, that's where the discount is applied. So, do you guys have any questions? I'm not sure. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Stay cool out there, and thank you guys very much for joining me.